guys, so it's me, Kiani. Today's video, I'm going to be answering some questions as I go through this makeup look. I'm giving you guys tips and techniques on creating that perfect bridal glam. If you're going to be in a wedding, if you're going to be a guest at a wedding, any of those things, I'm going to give you guys some of my favorite pointers that I give to clients that I work with when I'm working on set. So I'm going to be sharing that information with you today as I create this glam look. You're also going to get two looks in one, so make sure you stay tuned to the end for that. And without further ado, if you want to see how I created this event glam, just keep on watching. Alright guys, let's get started. I have already prepped my skin with my typical Estee Lauder skincare, but one of my most asked questions is, what skincare do I use and what skincare products do I recommend? Check the link in the description box, and if you have questions, make sure you comment back and forth with me. I'll try and answer those questions as they come in. But as far as moving into makeup, I like to key in on anything that's going to remove the focus from beautiful skin, amazing eyes, and of course just an all-around glowing look. So for me, if I were my client, I definitely want to address just a little bit of the darkness that I see around the eye area. I want to make sure that a little bit of my skin is peeking through, but not at the expense of the makeup not faring well in hot climate, or wearing a gown, drinking wine, things that typically make the body heat up or react any type of way. And the product that I typically get the best end results in is a full coverage foundation. So I'm going to show you how. If you guys have followed my videos, you know that I like to start makeup routines on wet skin. Since I've already prepped my skin with skincare, I'm just going in and grabbing a little bit of my Mario Badescu spray. This is going to refreshen the skin and trigger dewiness to the skin. I am, for the sake of, going to use a little bit of primer. This primer is by Bodyography. I've talked about this on my channel before. I love this product. It's very, very smooth. It helps those of you that have fine lines. It also preps the skin to accept foundation. So great product. You'll see that it's starting to mattify the skin, but I still have lots and lots of slip. So I love that because the makeup tends to settle in with the primer very, very nicely. Now my skin is prepped and primed. I'm going to move into glowing up my skin. I love using the Melanie Mills lines of products on clients because it really does allow me to do that first step with building foundation. It doesn't have a whole lot of slip. It's not going to go oily. It's not going to be dewy, but it's going to create that beautiful luminosity to the skin. So this does allow me to minimize how much products I have to use, or if this product doesn't cover over the skin as nicely, it does almost highlight those areas that I need to go in a little bit more love to. Pop a little bit on my brush and just kind of dab this all across the skin and go ahead and start that glow. I do like to bring this down on the neck. I bring it on the ear, and after I'm done with the face and creating the glam here, if there's skin that's going to be exposed, such as the neck, such as the back, the arms, I typically use the same product to kind of create that connection between the skin and the face, so therefore everything looks nice and airbrushed. Nice tip, huh? I am seeing a little bit of that darkness right here. So that would be the area that I was mentioning I want to give a little bit more love to. So I'm going to go in and do just a little bit of color correcting. Just going to pop a little bit of this on my sponge. Using the Makeup Forever products. It is designed for camera. So again, a little bit of product goes a long way. And I don't want to make the skin cakey. I just want to address that darkness. And with that being said, I want to make sure that a lot of that color corrector is not visible. So I'm going to use a similar product. This is the Camouflage Concealer by Makeup Forever. Next, I want to move into a full coverage foundation. Now, when I say full coverage foundation, I'm not talking about masking the skin. I've already started layering products. What I really want to do is use a foundation, I'm going to say maybe even a half a shade deeper than my complexion. What this will help with is combating flashback. It will combat this foundation from oxidizing, and it will really just give you an all-around glowy effect to the skin. It really does make the skin look more healthy, so I'm just going to address that right now. Using a damp beauty blender does typically shear out foundation, so I'm just going to start with one full pump, because again, using a matte foundation is going to allow the skin to last a little bit longer. And notice that I'm just starting around the lower portion of the face. And as I move in, I am using less product in the areas that I've already applied the Melanie Mills, and I've already applied the color corrector and the concealer. So again, I'm just addressing the area that has not had product as of yet. And you can see on camera where that's coming off just a tad bit warm, which is really what I want, because I'm going to drop this right below the neck area as well, and giving myself a little bit more of a healthier appearance to the skin. Next, I'm going to finalize this dark circles around my eye area by using my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer that everybody's been talking about. And I know I'm a little bit late to the game, but I love the dewiness of this concealer. It does have a lot of hold as well to be so radiant, but I really do like using products that are similar in texture, so to speak. So therefore, you always end up with a very seamless end result. Now I want to set the under eye area right away. I'm going to grab a little bit of my RCMA powder. That is way too much. Now, by using a colorless powder all over my face, what I've done is definitely set underneath the eye area. I've also removed any amount of emolliency from the foundation. And what this does is allows me to add a bronzer on without having it streak. Remember, you're going to be photographed a lot, so you don't want to have any errors in your makeup application. So this definitely cures that. Recently, what I've been loving is my Cosette. This is the Infinite Contour Palette, and you'll see that this is equipped with tons of cool shades and warm shades. So I think this is perfect for any complexion. I really love the effect that contour gives my skin. So I'm just going to go ahead and contour. So I'm going to start with something that's really, really cool and move into something that's a little bit warm. And I'm going to softly start to contour my face. What you don't want is to have to add too much product to the skin again, but you really don't want to miss creating that beautiful effect. And I am starting much cooler than I typically do. This again allows me to make sure that there is no wet patches on my face, so it does eliminate cake face when you're applying your bronzer or your powders. Now I'm going to actually double dip into this warmer shade here and go into a little bit of this one, because I really want to bring out that chiseliness of the face. Keeping that back up high to the cheekbone, not on the cheekbone, but back into the jaw area. And because my forehead is very, very obvious, I'm really going to redefine my forehead, taking it all the way back into my hairline and kind of covering it this way. And let's not forget the under jaw area. I'm going to go into this cooler area here and do the same thing down the tip of my nose and right into my eyebrow. Now, if your nose is already super snatched, you can skip this step, but because I want to create a little bit more of a lifted nose, I'm going to work on this contour. So I've already contoured. Everything is looking nice and in position. I'm going to move in with a little bit of blush and highlight. Grabbing my same brush, I'm going to go into my Fenty Beauty. And again, pulling this back on the upper part of the jaw area, not necessarily on the focal point of the cheek. I just really want to bring a little bit more life into that contour. And it's okay just to kind of dust that around wherever you've contoured, because it just kind of creates a very seamless canvas. And now I'm going to work into this highlight area. Again, layering that right on top. Can you see what just happened? Because I've contoured, blushed, and now I'm highlighting. And I'm wrapping that. And I'm doing a little bit down the front of the nose, right on the obvious part between the eyebrows and the forehead. And I'm going to do a little bit down Cupid's bow and right on the chin. Can you see what happened? Now I have flashes of light. Now I think it's very important to make sure all of this blends together. I'm going to grab my Cassette Essential Finishing Powder. And notice that this shade is light because I have so much color on my face right now. All I want to do is do a quick cleanup. So I'm starting underneath the jaw area, blending over the chin, and see how I'm just kind of buffing all of this in to make sure there's no streaks. So yes, I've added several layers of powder, several different colors of powder, several different colors of powder. But by doing this, you don't have any start and any stop. Okay? Don't worry about the skin looking powdery. Remember, when you're going to a special event, the skin has to withstand you being in something formal, it getting too warm, having to go from indoor to outdoor. So it's a very gradual build of beauty. Now that the skin is done, I am going to grab my OM Glow. This is a highlighting finishing spray because now my skin is complete, and I'm just going to mist this over to remove any powdery cast. And I'm going to lightly buff over to press everything in. Can you see that beautiful glow that we're getting on the skin? Skin is complete. Let's move on to eyes. So I am a big fan of razoring my own eyebrows. I have a lot of people that want to have their brows done professionally. The only thing I'm going to say about that is make sure you stick with someone that you've experienced in the past. And I do have some other tips that I give you on eyebrow maintenance. I'll make sure I leave that link in the description box. I don't think it's a great idea to go to anyone new before a big event. I definitely don't think that it's good to go to someone that you've gone to in the past a couple of hours or days before the event. Only because typically when you have something going on in your life, so does everyone else. So be mindful of those types of things. Make your appointments accordingly. For my brows, I'm going to grab my Smoky Quartz. This is by Stilazzi. It is actually a gel liner that I absolutely love for eyebrows. And I'm just going to really go in and fill them in very, very lightly. Not trying to add too much product. Really concentrating on the tail and building up, filling in the gaps with small brush strokes. Next, I'm going to grab another Stilazzi product. This color is called Tiger's Eye. And I'm just going to use this color as an eyeshadow primer. I love this as an eyeshadow primer. I feel like you don't have to work as hard. It gives you instantaneous color. so you can kind of start to map out where you want to apply any additional colors. Or if you just want to use this solo, pop on a lash, girl. I mean, that skin is together. You are good to go. And you'll see that I'm just blending this in with my finger because I want it to lay very, very smooth. I want it to stay nice and heated up, and make sure that it mixes in with any concealer that's still left a little bit damp from the original application. And because I want to be a little bit more extra with my eyes today, I'm going to grab my Jouer. This is the Essential Matte and Shimmer Eyeshadow Palette. I'm obsessed with this palette right now. I just think it's so easy to use. And look, it has all of the neutralness in color. And it does give you enough depth here that if you want to create a smoky eye, it's already in this nice palette. I don't know if this palette got great reviews. I didn't really care when I looked at it. I just thought, oh my God, that palette, I need it. It's great. It's called Essential. And you know what? It kind of has been in my routine. So I'm just going to grab a big fluffy brush, and I'm going to go into this shade right here. And this shade is called Desert. I love it. It's just the right amount of peachiness. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of sepia and mix those two together, and I'm going to start working with the upper part of my crease. Starting in the middle of the crease, allowing the majority of the product to blend there, and as you create this windshield wiper motion, you're distributing the product evenly. And I'm pulling up just above the crease, not applying any more product. Now I'm grabbing a little bit of sepia on that same fluffy brush. I'm just going to start to mark the area around the exterior part of my eye and keeping everything nice and tight around the crease. And you'll see how that sepia shade just intensified the eye area. Now I don't want to forget the lower lash line, so I'm going to start that same process around the lower lash line and just wrap that color. I think that color is essential for any eye color that you're going to add to intensify. And I think that just creating the beautiful shape around whatever eye shape you have is essential, because remember, you're doing this makeup for pictures. I mean, between me and you, I know you're doing it for pictures. Next, I'm going to tap into this dark chocolate shade, and I'm just going to grab a little bit of this Desert as well, mixing between the two and working with the lower outer V. Just starting to blend that in, and again doing the exact same thing on the lower lash line, just on the outer V of both the lower and the upper. Can you see what just happened? Don't worry about the blend yet. Right now you're just working with product placement. This palette has a great mirror, so I'm going to transition to using that so I can really see what's going on. We're going to go back into Desert and Fresco, and what I'm doing is a soft blend right above any of the darkness, and just blend everything out to make sure there are no lines of demarcation. A nice soft smoky eye, appropriate for any eye shape. But lastly, I want to create a little bit more interest on my upper lash line without using a gel liner or anything that's going to bleed. So I'm grabbing this dark shade right here, which is called Licorice, and I am just going to sweep right along my lashes to almost mimic a wing liner or an eyeliner, but definitely not the mess and the worry of creating a mess with a liquid liner or a pencil, and easy to clean up in the event of smearing. And I'm just going to connect it just about 1/4 the way of the eye. And lastly, just to blend all of this in, I'm just going to connect this wing just by dipping it into a little bit of the licorice and a little bit of the dark chocolate. I'm just further emphasizing that exterior V. So by now you should be looking at a very seamless, easy, smoky eye, very transitional from something that's a little bit more day directly into something that's full throttle night. And yeah, just pretty easy, no major technique there, just a lot of blending. So I guess there's technique in the blending and color selection, but we've already chosen that. Let's go ahead and move into lashes. For this look, I have chosen one of my new favorite perfect lashes. These are by Stilazzi. This is from the Cosmo collection, and this lash is called Rager. Now, if you look at it, it looks like your typical wispy lash, but when I tell you they are very long and whimsical, perfect for this look. Before I apply those false lashes, I'm going to go ahead and apply some mascara. This is the Tarte's mascara. I love it, other than it will bleed on you. So if you're going to a special event and you feel like you're going to be in super duper hot climates, or if you're going to get a little bit teary-eyed, I'm definitely going to tell you to get the waterproof version of this mascara. I love applying mascara before I apply my false lashes. It gives me something to anchor my false lashes on so I can get them on straight, and it keeps that adhesive from laying on my lashes. It typically lays on the mascara, so a few little tips there. And while I'm waiting on my lash adhesive to dry, I've decided that I'm going to add just a little bit more highlighter. And I'm going to grab my new Jennifer Lopez highlighter. This color is Living the Highlight. This is an illuminator for face, eyes, and body. And I just want to pop a little bit of this right over top of my Fenty and down the bridge of my nose. There's nothing wrong with going back and reassessing where you need a little bit more oomph. Sometimes the foundation will go ahead and oxidize. So, and remember, I did go a little bit warmer, so I want to create a little bit more light to the skin. Can you see what just happened? I just gave myself a little pop. And I do have a little bit more time before I need that lash adhesive to dry. So I'm going to pop a little bit of that same highlight right on the inner V of my eye and just create a little bit more excitement since we're not working with glitter. Now, I've distracted myself from my lash adhesive to let it get nice and sticky. I'm just going to pop these bad boys on. Going to go back over top of that upper lash line with those lashes to make sure none of that adhesive starts to loosen up. Pushing those lashes down into position. Buffing over just once more to make sure everything is playing nice together. I'm just doing a nice blend. I am a liquid matte girl, so I'm going to give you two options. The first one I'm grabbing is my Rodeo Drive. This is by Glamorous Chicks Cosmetics. And regardless of what color you use, I think that these products are amazing. A long-wearing lipstick is phenomenal because you'll have something on your lips for the entire event. Even if you eat, you're going to drink cocktails. I kind of let that dry down just a little bit. And then I'm going to grab just a beautiful nude gloss. This is Pinky Brown. This is by MakeUPbyKiani. And I'm just going to give myself just a little bit of sheen. So if you don't like the feel of a liquid lipstick, you can always apply a gloss over top and allow the gloss to become a part of the combination of lip. So this is look number one, but you guys let me go on talking without applying mascara to my lower lash line. Don't forget that, girl. If you feel like you want to give them a little bit more color, I'm grabbing another gloss by MakeUPbyKiani. This one is called Rouge Fuel, and I just love this color. It's a beautiful red, and look at that. Screams night out. So there you have some of my tips on getting ready for your perfect going out event, a wedding, being in a wedding, going out for a night out, or you know what? This look is actually accommodatable for any of life's events. So girl, go ahead, enjoy yourself. That's all we have for now. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it 2 thumbs up. And what I've been noticing, I've been getting comments, but I can't tell if my subscriber count is going up. So do me a favor, share this video with any of your friends. Share this video. Make sure you click that notification button to make sure that you come right back next week for my next video. You guys know I love to connect with you, so make sure you connect with me. Follow me on all my social media links to never miss another upload. Again, subscribe. Click that notification button. Until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hugs and kisses. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.